Makofi ya baba jameni. Baba ni fire si fire.
Mr. President, Deputy President, honorable members of Parliament, hamjambo tena. Hey, I think I see almost a full house. Senators and members of the National Assembly, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here this morning to see you. I want to say that I am charged, but I'm not scared. You know, I've been a member of Parliament for this constituency for 20 years. And I used to meet with members of Parliament. I was a Prime Minister. And every Wednesday was a Prime Minister's question time in Parliament. I used to be harassed a lot by members of Parliament. And that's why I'm not scared. But let me begin to say that none of us thought a day would come when protagonists just a year ago would get together to chart a joint way forward for this country. How did we find ourselves together, and why are we here today? One, in life of a nation, there comes a time when danger knocks on the door. It happened in the U.S. during the Civil War that threatened to dismember the USA as we know it today. There's a region today referred to as former Yugoslavia. Yugoslavia existed as a country between 1918 and 1992. Then it fell apart into several countries, including Croatia, Montenegro, Serbia, Slovenia, Bosnia, and Macedonia. The former president of Yugoslavia, the late General Josip Broz Tito, used to say jokingly that I am the glue that is holding this fragile nation called Yugoslavia together. And if I depart, it may disintegrate in several small nations. And true to his prophecy, that's happened today. There's no Yugoslavia. Closer to home here next door is Somalia. In 1991, we were here when Siad Barre was forced to run out into exile where he died. Look at Somalia today. So there are several examples that exist around the world. As leaders, we are supposed to scan the horizon, spot the danger, and act to subvert that danger. In 2024, that last year, we understood that the dark clouds that were gathering over Kenya could have been exciting, but they could also mark the end of Kenya. We decided that it is better to have an imperfect country that is struggling to mend its ways than to have a collapsed one. We came together to create an environment in which we can discuss our issues and differences as people of one nation. As you know, and as you know here, there are countries that cannot discuss their issues at home. In my life, I've attended many meetings in London, Paris, Istanbul, Washington, name it, where African leaders are ferried to foreign capitals from their own collapsing countries to discuss issues they cannot discuss at home. We go together to spare Kenyan that shame. Our object was and remains one, as one U.S. Senator called it, our country, our whole country, and nothing but our country. Having stabilized the nation, how have we performed in the intervening periods? How do we do better? How do we move forward in a way that respects the people of Kenya and that shows that we are alive to the circumstances that triggered our coming together and that we are acting on them? That is our object today. And that's why we are here today. We met and decided that we needed to have, for the first time, a joint parliamentary group meeting. We could now discuss with our members of parliament. It's over 2 months ago, an opportunity to discuss in this very same place here with the members of the executive. They came here and actually came with the blueprint of the performance, what they had done up to that time, and what they were intended to continue doing going forward. And I was very candid with them in my discussions with them. And I told them where I thought they were not doing right and what I thought they should be doing rightly. So as always, I'm always very candid indeed. Today, I'm meeting the members of the legislature. As you know, we have got three very important institutions: the executive, legislature, the judiciary. And I'm hoping that in not very far away from today, I will have opportunity to talk to the judiciary as well. So I'm going to be very candid with you people. to talk to you as a former member of parliament. Yes, the leader, Kimani Ichung'wah, referred to the Constitution and told me the issues like NGF and and Senate oversight in the counties is in the Constitution. I want him to cite to me the section of that Constitution that he's referring to. Because as you know, I was very involved with the Constitution, making Constitution of this country. And at another time, I would want to bring Professor Yashpal Gai, who was the leader of that Constitution making. And we went through very many issues. We had committees in the Bomas of Kenya dealing with various segments of that Constitution. The executive was one. Legislature was another one. Judiciary was another one. Devolution, other committee. The devolution was very contentious because we had very many people who did not want the devolution because of what had happened at independence. As you know, we started with the devolved system government, Majimbo. The foundation of Majimbo was actually contentious because it was ethnic-based. The colonialists and the settlers had actually instilled fear in the people that the bigger communities, the bigger tribes at that time, the Luos and the Kikuyus, will lord it over the smaller tribes. And the smaller tribes need to safeguard themselves by creating regions and powers so that they can be able to be protected. That was the basis of Majimbo. And it was a very lengthy discussion at Sri Lanka's house. So KANU accepted Majimbo in London, but with the understanding that they would change it after the independence. So after independence, KANU actually started to frustrate Majimbo by not remitting funds to the regional governments. I want to refer you to the Hansard in the Bunge. There's a motion that was moved by the then leader of opposition at that time, the late Ronald Ngala, of censorship of the Prime Minister, Jomo Kenyatta, because he had refused to release funds to the regional governments. You need to read that debate. Ngala moved it. It was seconded by Masini Muliro, who was the deputy leader of the opposition. And then KANU, of course, responded. First Jaramogi, Oginga Odinga, and then Tom Mboya responded to that motion. The motion was defeated, but that debate actually is very historical. And I want to refer you to it. Go and read what it said. Eventually, KANU, of course, had to fold up and dissolved, and then eventually Majimbo was also dissolved through a constitutional amendment. And then what happened was what? They created a Ministry of Local Government, which was given a lot of powers. Ministry of Local Government. So the Minister of Local Government became an executive minister, just like a Minister for Finance under that constitution at that time. And now they were county councils down there that they capped 265. But then they could not do anything without authority in writing from the Minister of Local Government. So we had all these documents when we were there at Bomas. But then we said we wanted to give more autonomy to the counties so that service delivery could be better improved. We came up with regions at Bomas of Kenya. But there are people who really opposed devolution. The chairman of devolution in Bomas was called Dr. Odhiambo Mbai. He addressed the audience at Bomas, and by the time he finished talking, everybody said that man should be the chairman of that committee, and became the chairman of the committee. And he conducted the matter so well and so effectively that he became a marked person. What did they do to him? In broad daylight, around 11 o'clock, on Ngong Road there, off Ngong Road, in his residence, they sent assassins. And in the presence of his children, they shot him and killed him. The assassins of Mumbai were arrested. Eventually, they were released. So I just want you to know that the revolution has got very many people and very powerful people in this country today. Then, after that, of course, you know that ODM is a product of constitution making. And one of the founding members of ODM is sitting here with you. The other one is the former president, who is a member, and quite a number. We are going to have the 20 years of ODM in October, and all the founding members are going to be invited. to come and attend. Now, you see, we said that we want, we give clear, responsibilities. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. And the legislature is supposed to make laws that the executive uses to run the country. And the judiciary is then there to ensure that in implementation of these laws, the executive is not overreaching or violating the law of the Constitution. But then, so the work of Parliament is representation, legislation, and oversight. Very clear, it's written there in the Constitution. Parliament is not supposed to be implementing. Parliament is supposed to be oversighting. It's not oversighting. And secondly, there is only two levels of devolution. There's, national and one level, county. Constituency is not an element of devolution. Devolution remains at the county. Down there, the constituency, the county government does implementation of the projects. I'm saying, correct. Down at the constituency, it's the county government. By the national government is supposed to do national projects, and we go down there. And there are functions which are clearly been assigned. Functions which have been clearly been assigned to the national government. I will tell you, your legislatures, and a very famous English politician said that I may not agree with what you have to say, but I shall not defend until death your right to say it. So listen to me. Let me say it. And then you'll have a chance to come and respond. So I'm telling you, I know that sometimes the truth is very bitter. I was there, and we discussed with the Karue when he was moving around to bring the CDF. The CDF was brought because of circumstances that were prevailing at that time. In those days, with a centralized system of government, there were very little resources which are going down to the counties. And that's the reason why the Harambe became the major ways of mobilizing resources. Sometimes you find nearly 100 cards in your desk for Harambes here and there. Whenever the president moved around, we'll go around to counties, to the districts. And then we'll be addressing people. People will come up to tell them their problems. Mtukufu Rais, hapa kwetu barabara ni mbaya sana, haipitiki. Mvua ikinyesha kuna matope, barabara haipitiki. Mtukufu Rais, hapa kwetu shule yetu hapa, juzi mvua ilinyesha na upepo kaja katoa paa. Watoto sasa wanasoma chini ya mti hapa. Mtukufu Rais, hapa kwetu hakuna maji. Mtukufu Rais, hatuna stima na kadhalika. When he stands to respond, to say, nyinyi mnasema barabara ni mbaya, mnasema hospitali hakuna dawa, mnasema upepo imechukua paa ya nyumba. Mjumbe wenu anafanya nini? Yeye anapiga tu kelele kule kwa bunge. Anapiga tu kelele kwa bunge, hajali mambo ya maendeleo kwake. Kwa hiyo mimi nitatumia mtu kuja kufanya harambee. Lakini leo mimi nitatoa pesa ya kujenga hiyo shule. Ambayo kujenga hiyo nyumba. Nitatoa pesa na kadhalika. That was the end of it. So the MP was the one who was being blamed for the failure of the national government to do certain things in the constituency. And that's the reason why we came up with the idea of CDF. That was at that time. Exactly that was that time. But then the constituency is now falls under the devolved government, which is being led by the governors. So constituency is not a devolved unit. And members of parliament themselves should not be involved in development because they're supposed to be oversighting. They're supposed to be oversighting. If you have yourself being involved in construction of roads, building of schools, building hospitals, who is going to oversight you? Who is oversighting you? So, Mr. President, I hold very clearly that these MPs know that they should not have any business in trying to implement projects in their constituency. Implementation of projects should be left to the county government. Secondly, the oversight, the national parliament oversight the national government, whether it is the National Assembly or the Senate. Oversighting of governors, the responsibility of MCAs, members of the county assembly, not the senators. It's not the responsibility of the Senate to oversight. Senate wasting time of governors to come and answer questions about roads in the counties. And thirdly, the issue of extortion. The issues of extortion. The issues of extortion. Majority Leader, you talked of, you didn't talk of extortion, you talked of lobbying. Lobbying is okay. In the US, you've got lobby firms which have formed to lobby the members of the Congress. They come to lobby, they're known, they're officially registered as lobbyists. They come to lobby the members of parliament. But lobbying is a different thing from extortion. From extortion. That you have a member, every committee has got a member who is how do you call him? Welfare. Welfare Bungi is giving a very, very image of parliament. That members of parliament should not be soliciting funds from because you see, listen to me, you know, the environment that we are creating here in this country is very, very hostile to investments. Foreign investors who come to the country bring their resources in the country to invest it here. And when they bring their resources, when they find there's too much bureaucracy and there's too much extortion, they run away. Private capital is risk shy. Risk shy. And when, for example, somebody has come with his resources to start a project, and then you find somebody beginning to make noise that, oh, this project has not been approved. This project has not been approved. Or this project is being corruptly implemented. You run away. You run away. And delaying of the projects. And you find a situation where members of parliament inviting parastatals and so on, and even purporting to be cancelling projects that have been signed. That is the work of the executive, not the work of the legislature. So legislature should not be competing with the executive in terms of implementation of projects. Allow the executive to implement and just correct them when they go wrong. That's the country will develop. Create a healthy environment for implementation of projects in the country. Then this country will develop. I know I'm being too honest with you people. I know that the facts, the truth sometimes is so painful, but I think it is important to say this to honorable members of Parliament. Thank you very much. May I now invite my brother to come and address you people.